Hey guys, it's Rashad. Alright, Carl made a pretty cool video saying like what made him start singing and stuff. So it made me think of the same kind of thing as actually like what made me start singing and what made me develop my own style of teaching, I guess I would call it. Because you notice every teacher's got their own flip on teaching and students get confused because they're like, hold on a second, you all sing well, all you teachers sing well, but then when you go to teach, you're like arguing about topics and you all think differently. So what the fuck is the right way? So this is to help you students understand that every teacher has a different perspective, and I'm guessing we all go through a really different education. And our education, like our life education, not just, reading a book education, teaches us different things. So from the students that we get and from the troubles that we originally faced when we were learning to sing ourselves. So here's what I originally faced when I was learning to sing myself. So I'm R&B singing lessons, my channel name. So my name's Rached Hayek. Okay, that's Rached, Rached. When I started, I had a love for like Craig David and Boyz II Men. I started with like Cisco. Like when I first heard Cisco, Dru Hill, New Edition. Like that was the kind of music that used to get me. And I loved normal pop too. So I even liked, I liked Linkin Park. I liked Nirvana, Metallica, like Lenny Kravitz. I liked all the chart kind of stuff back in the late 90s and 2000s and stuff. And I liked all that kind of stuff. But I had a specific love for R&B. So I did like all the kind of music. Now I don't really like all the kind of music in the charts. I don't feel like I want to listen to a lot of it. Maybe I'll listen to maybe 10-20% of it. Whereas back then, I used to like nearly everything that was on the charts. Like pop was kind of more mixed back then, it seemed. So yeah, I used to like everything, but I loved R&B. So that was my first inkling, okay? Then I just used to sing along with all the songs that I liked. I didn't know if I was good or bad. I just used to sing along and I had fun. Now, there came a point where some friends told me, oh, you could get better. And then I told you in another video, like I had a story where, look at my previous recent videos, last few days, a story where it's the video about singers don't know they're bad or something like that. So the singer, I had an experience which led me to see that, yeah, I needed to learn how to sing. I needed to learn how to sing better. And then, so what happened for me was I had to compartmentalize singing, because when I say singing, now me and Carl and all the other teachers, there's something we have in common. We do exercises. Now my exercises are just different, okay? I created exercises from songs, and so I can take any song and make an exercise out of parts of that song. That's what I do. Now what Carl and all the other online teachers notice what they all have in common is they all do exercises. So we're all in the same ballpark there, except they don't do song exercises. They do exercises that use a scale to teach the different concepts. So they'll teach range, they'll teach pitch, they'll teach like how to stay in key, that kind of stuff. But they'll use scales, and they'll mainly use scales to do that, and arpeggios and different kind of vowel sounds on those scales, okay? That's where I differ. And now I teach the same thing, the same concepts, except I use different words to describe them. All right, so we can argue about if the words are right that I use to describe them, but mine came about because I was like, what is that part of the song? What is the singer doing right there? And it'll be that particular singer that I'll be analyzing. So let's say it's Boyz II Men or Craig David or whatever, all right? I'll be like, what is it about that particular set of words that the singer is doing? Why don't I sound like that? I know the lyrics, but when I record myself and listen back to it, I don't sound like that. Even my ear wasn't that good before, so but I could still tell that I didn't sound as nice. I knew enough to be able to tell that. So I was like, what do I do here? And then gradually I would listen to the songs and I started making notes of all the different parts in the songs where I thought that I didn't sound as good. And eventually I started noticing that I started finding the names for these things. So for example, R&B singers tend to use, or all dance singers tend to use a lot of slides in their music. So for example, they'll go, on my way to see my friends. Like, well, I haven't sung yet and I've got a bad migraine. But here's the example. It's on, see that? On. So originally I would just sing it like on, one note, on my way to see my friends. Like that, really simple. But actually, if you listen to Craig David slowed down, he's actually going as the first note, and then he goes on, so that's a slide. So I learned, oh, what the hell's that? And he does it like that, like so quick. And I noticed that I had to copy that, and then I couldn't do it, and I thought, oh fuck, this singing is way too hard, because I couldn't copy it. I was like, that's so fast, how does he do it? It's on. It's like, whoa, it's so quick, I'm never gonna sing like this. And I was gonna quit a lot of times. And every time I would discover an element that the singer was doing and I'd look it up and find out what it was called, I'd be like on a learning frenzy. I'd be like, oh, I want to learn about that technique, you know? So next came like runs. I was like, on my way. It's like 3 notes, but really quick. And I was like, whoa, what is that? And then I couldn't do that fast. And I'm like, and by the way, I hadn't solved slides yet. So this isn't the order that things happen, but as in, I couldn't do any of the things that I would find out what they were. I couldn't do them. And I'm still learning how to do them right now. So you hear me and you might think, oh, like I did good in that song or whatever. And I'm like, I'm looking at it going, yeah, this is what I've got, what I can execute well. And this is what I'm like still not that good at. And I do an analysis like that. I analyze my own voice to see where I'm at. And the same thing that I do with my students. I just teach them to do to themselves what I did to myself. So then I discovered vibrato, and I was like, oh my god, oh my god, I can't sing like that. What are they doing? I'm like, whoa, it's so fast. Ooh, it's like so quick. There's no way, I'm never gonna do this. And then what else I discovered? I discovered range. I'm like, oh man, I'm never gonna sing that high. And then like falsetto, and then people when they break into falsetto, I was like, whoa, I'm never gonna like be able to get that quality of a sound, because my falsetto was particularly shit in my voice. I don't know if it's because I got that like husky-ish voice type, but my falsetto was particularly crap. It still is. It's a weak spot. And now I'm learning even more. I'm learning about the head voice. You know, like, do I even have head voice? Like, I can't even really tell if I have one. So it's a bit complicated. Like, but my point is, I'm still learning, and that was how it doesn't end. Just because you might hear me sing some songs well, it doesn't mean that I'm not learning anymore, or you're gonna learn and you're just gonna get to this point where you're like, yeah, I mastered all this. You know, you might get to that point, but it's unlikely. It's probably gonna be like an evolution where you keep evolving, and you keep going, oh, like, this is getting better, this is not getting better, because getting better takes a lot of self-analysis. So you have to really look at yourself regularly with an honest eye and say, this is good and this is bad. And this is where I've been, this is what I'm working on, and this is what I've progressed on. So you can say this is good and this sucks. But you also got to come from a place where you've analyzed yourself for long enough that you can go, but this is progressing. So things that you have to be able to measure are like, my runs were slower than they are now, for example. You could say that to yourself. Or my vibrato, it's not at the speed of the singer yet, but it's faster than it was. So maybe I could only do it at 50% of the speed, and now I can do it at 75%. you know, and it's been like, I've been training for a few months or something. Like you could talk to yourself like that. All right. A big mistake I see people make is they talk to themselves really only looking at the bad things and not even looking at your progress. So these people tend to not make any progress. They get stuck because they just go, they only see that, oh, I'm not as good as a singer yet. I shouldn't sing. I don't deserve to sing. But in reality, you should say, okay, I'm not as good as a singer yet in this section of the song. And then say, I'm as good as the singer in this section of the song. And overall, I've made progress in these sections of the song, though I'm not there yet. So that's the way you got to look at it. So for those sections where you're not there yet, you got to say, how much progress have I made over time? And then you got to ask, how do I make progress? Okay, so it's, what am I good at? What am I executing perfectly? Give yourself a round of applause, pat on the back. Okay, good on you. Self-talk, well done. To yourself, say it. I'm not kidding. Like, say it to yourself. And then you say to yourself, what is not as good as a singer yet? Have I made progress there? And if I haven't, or I am making progress, how do I continue to make progress? You got to self-analyze like this, okay? So that's how I started. I started thinking, what is all these things in these songs? And then I came up with the elements, and that's how my system is based on. It's based on analyzing your voice when you try to sing a specific song, and then saying, what is it in that song that I'm not executing properly? And those things tend to be, by analyzing hundreds of songs and hundreds of singers and hundreds of students, I come to the realization that there's a bunch of common elements, just like how all the other teachers teach. There's a common elements that you got to work on, except my common elements are different. They have a different focus, just because that's the way that I ended up coming up with what I needed to work on. So my common elements are your pitch, like can you copy a note? Your key, as in, are your notes, all the notes that you sing, not only correct in pitch, but also the correct pitches from when you transition between notes, okay? So for example, on my way to see my friends. Now you might be, on my way to see my friends. You might just sing 3 notes off or something like that. That would mean you're off key, so that's key. The other parts are runs, vibrato, belting in your high chest, like that really high, powerful belt. And then the like when you flip into your falsetto sound. And there's the head voice sounds, which I haven't really got down yet. But some of my students already, they know how to feel those parts of their voice. So they can just copy. So I can teach them like how to do runs or vibrato or whatever in that part of their voice, because they can already use it. Some people don't know how to use it, and I help people figure out how to use it, but not head voice, falsetto. But if they already have head voice, I teach them how to use it, because I don't need to be better than you to teach you necessarily. I can know where you're at and then help you how to get better from where you're at. So for example, my siblings were better than me, but I knew how to make them better than they were, because I knew how to find things that were challenging for them, and then I would challenge them with it without using my voice. I would use an artist's voice that was better than them. Okay. What else made me who I am? Okay, so yeah, seeing all the students that I would teach, that, oh, look, they have all these things in common that they can't do. So I'd tell them to sing this song, and they'd make the same mistakes. They'll like do a pitch mistake, or they'll do a run mistake. So like they might sing in pitch really well, but then they'll go off key sometimes on certain, like when it will go to a bridge, or they might like completely crack when they try to go falsetto, or they might try to get to high chest notes and then they just change key because they don't know how to go higher. They haven't developed their range. Or they'll do a run and they've got no idea, and they just end up sliding, like going, yeah, instead of going, yeah, they go, yeah, like that, because they got no idea what to do. Or it'll be like, ooh, whoa, whoa, like a big run, and they just go, ooh, whoa, 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 and completely change it. Like that. And they'll do vibrato, and they go, yeah, and be like really shaky or something like that. So it's the same mistakes. Everyone tends to make the same mistakes. And that's what I end up teaching. I tell them, this is where you're making mistakes, and let's work on that. That's it. And there's never been something that I couldn't work on, except, like I'm saying, head voice. I don't really fully understand that yet. But getting higher in chest voice and falsetto, I get that. I know that. And all the other stuff, I know. Okay, so there is one aspect that I'm still learning about. And I feel because I don't have that in my voice, I don't know why. I checked with some of my friends and some of them have that in their voice. And some of them are like, what are you talking about? So I noticed like different singers have different awareness of their voice and what they can already naturally do. For example, my brother found his head voice like when he was 16, 17. He told me he found it, and I go, oh, like you can just do that. And he goes, yeah, but like I was emulating singers and then I created it. And I'm like, but I've been listening to the same singers, but why can't I emulate it? And he's like, I don't know. So he could do it just by emulating the singers, but I couldn't. So it's sort of a weak area for me in that specific area. So I just want to bring that up because that's an area where Carl's voice sounds to me like it's very well developed. So I don't know if he had a head voice in the beginning before he did training, or he did training and found it, or he did and created it, sorry, or he already had it but he like strengthened it with training. So I don't know exactly. That would be cool if you could share that, Carl. Let me know like how your experience was specifically with that part of your voice, like the head voice part, the really high, mixy, heady, whatever you call it, the terminology. Yeah, so I hope that lets you guys know and helps you understand, Carl, like where my background came from. So yeah, I would listen to the songs and I was like, well, what is happening in these songs? And I tried to figure it out, and I noticed that all my students were trying to do the same things in the song. And I analyzed all the people that karaoke and stuff like that, and even famous singers. Some singers can't do some things well, like Ed Sheeran, for example, can't do vibrato well. Some singers have got incredible range and incredible runs and can't do clean vibrato. They'll do like a really messy vibrato. So I noticed people got different talents, or different skill areas and different weaknesses and stuff like that, okay? So that's what I end up training. So like bring me anyone that can't do vibrato and I'll show you how to do vibrato. I haven't had one person that can't do it yet, okay? And maybe some of my students, if you guys aren't scared, will drop a comment and tell them like what's happened with your vibrato, and tell them your understanding of runs, like what's happened to your ability to do runs and your sense of key. Okay, my students know like they've changed, man. Like they just go like, whoa, you know, their ability just goes whoosh, faster than I even expect for them. Like I make a program and I tell them, look, you're not going to get this for 6 months. I tell them how to do vibrato, how to practice vibrato, and then they'll come back to me like in 2 months, or like some of them a couple weeks have been coming back to me, and they'll show me the vibrato. I was like, what the fuck? Like I didn't expect it to work that fast. So I'm even surprised at the speed of some of the stuff that I've been teaching, and I wish that I was taught it that way in the beginning. Now it's not like a hating thing. Oh, I wish there was people look how they teach, it's so stupid. It's not a hate thing, because all people come up with their systems in different ways. Some systems just get passed down, and some systems get created by people that think about things and go, oh, I'm going to create this. And some people just never even think of something. Like, it's all good. I happen to think of something that I found works really quick, and I'm sure a lot of other teachers have exercises and have things that students feel like, oh wow, like it really clicked for me in my head about how to do this, and they progress really quick. So I'm sure every teacher's got their thing, like with their students, where they excel at something. And I feel like I really excel at R&B and pop kind of songs, and copying what the singers are doing. That's where I really stand out. And if you like that kind of like runs and vibrato and the kind of stuff that they do in R&B, which really it's universal to all music, but it's very heavily focused on in R&B, and you want to get a bit higher and you want to, like, you know, just sound like those singers more, that's where I really have a lot of skill. Okay, I know like YouTube videos are difficult because everyone has a particular thing where they're at, right? And when I make a video, I try to address whatever's in my mind. But you got to remember, like, when people take lessons, usually shit goes down differently. because you sing for me, and then I analyze you. And when I analyze you and what I tell you to do, it might not even be what you thought was good or bad. You might be like, oh, I thought I was really bad. And then I'll tell you, what are you talking about? You're like, you got 3/4 of this shit down. This is your only weakness, this and this. That's happened a lot in lessons. So I encourage you to get a lesson. I've made them really cheap for everyone, really affordable by having a short time for the lesson. So that way you can do regular lessons if you want to do like as regular as you want to, because it doesn't cost that much. And I encourage you to try it, like just one, because it's nice to meet each other. If you've been watching me, it's nice to meet you and just to see, like, it's that connection thing. I make videos, but I partially do it because of the community, because I like that feeling of connecting with people. And I only charge, I would do it for free, but I only charge because it's like, how much of my free time can I give? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a service, and you need to sort of charge a bit because we're all got to make a living. But I would wish I could do it for free, but I can't always do it for free, because it's my free time, etc. That's how it is. It's just sort of how it is. Sometimes you do give it. Sometimes I will give it away for free. Like, it just depends who the student is and what the vibe is. It's all about, you got to give, take. It's got to be kind of even. You know what I mean? So yeah, I hope to see you guys soon in a lesson if you're one of my regular followers, and if you just want to or know about what the fuck I teach and how I would help you, what I would say if you came into a lesson, instead of all this YouTube talk about, maybe you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Come into a lesson and just see what it's like. Just check it out. Don't be scared. We just do a Skype call, and it'll get your nerves, get your nerves going, because I'll make you sing for me straight away. That's how I start. You get to sing for me. So it'll help you with your nerves. All right, guys. I'm Rashad. I'll see you guys next time.